Words can hurt, especially for those among us with a disability, each with their own condition, which may make them stand out but should in no way have them left out. Hurtful language, intentional or not, can make people feel excluded and be a barrier to inclusion, equality, and equity. A disability is a physical or mental condition that limits a person's movements, senses, or activities. A disability is not a human being or group of people. With that understanding, it is never respectful to say a disabled person or the disabled. In addition, do not use the term impaired. These words do not reflect the individuality, equality, or dignity of people with disabilities.
Persons who use wheelchairs, just that, you use a wheelchair. The wheelchair happens to be your legs, you know, and that is fine. The shoes help me to move around, and my slippers and so on, and the wheelchair helps somebody else to move around.
The word itself, disability, is acceptable as it identifies the condition of a group of people. But when referring to a person one-on-one, it is best to use his or her name. If you don't know the individual's name, the person first terminology is what should be used, because the person is more important than his or her disability.
So it's not the epileptic, it is a person with epilepsy, or the person with autism, the child with autism, and so on and so forth.
When you interact with persons with disabilities, being respectful in your language is not the politically correct thing to do, it's simply the correct thing to do.
People with disabilities or the person with a disability. Persons who use a wheelchair. Wheelchair user. Intellectual disability or intellectually disabled. Person with a mental health disability. Someone living with a specific disability or illness.
In addition, when talking about places with accommodations for people with disabilities, use the term accessible. Do not use disabled or handicapped. For example, it is proper to say accessible parking space or an accessible pathway. And consider this. If you refer to someone without a disability as normal, what does that make the person with a disability? Over time, the use of language and words describing persons with disabilities have changed. As we all seek acceptance and respect, we should do our best to keep updated on the terminologies that do not dehumanize each other. If in doubt, ask. That man or woman with a disability will be happy to tell you what he or she is comfortable with being called. This fosters respect, tolerance, and prevents unnecessary embarrassment. When speaking with or of a particular group of persons with a disability, choose your words wisely.